Happy birthday, America. 250 years. From the mountains to the valleys to the oceans white with foam. Still the greatest country on earth and my home. God bless you all. Celebrating our 250th anniversary for this wonderful country that God has conceived. Freedom for all mankind. All men created equal. So this is a day to celebrate. Wave your American flags. Go outside and sing your songs. Meet your neighbors. Watch the parades and be thankful that we have grown and live in a nation that has allowed our freedom. Some are trying to deny that, but it's still the greatest country on earth. So we're going to replay episode number 136, A Tribute to America. Happy birthday, America. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Along the Way Life's Journey. I'm your host, Carl Buccellato, and today we're celebrating something truly extraordinary, the 250-year legacy of the United States of America. Are you ready for the greatest party and celebration in years? Parades, statewide celebrations, fireworks in the air? Well, that's what's scheduled for the United States in 2026. It'll go throughout the entire country, and Washington, D.C. will be ablaze in July. I can't wait to see it. I hope you all join in and watch it also. We'll be celebrating the sustained strength and growth of the United States, a constitutional republic, and all it represents. 2.5 centuries of history, a story of vision, courage, innovation, and determination. It's a story written by individuals whose ideas and actions have shaped not only this nation, but the entire world. Today, we'll honor some of those most influential figures in American history, from the political leaders who built the foundation of our democracy to the cultural icons and innovators who have inspired generations, and the average person, just like you and me, who made this great nation thrive. Together, let's embark on this journey through the heart and soul of America. Let's begin at the very roots of our nation's identity, before it was even a nation. The ideas that would shape America's founding were born in the Age of Enlightenment, a period of intellectual and philosophical growth. Thinkers like John Locke, Voltaire, and Montesquieu, who championed the separation of powers, laid the groundwork for the systems of checks and balances in our Constitution, and greatly influenced the founding fathers like Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Benjamin Franklin. And let's not forget the teachings of the Black Robes, a group of local and regional pastors who preached the Judeo-Christian biblical values and brought spiritual guidance to early settlers and their leaders, influencing the moral compass of the colonies. All these people who pledged their honor, their fortune, and their lives to defend the principles of this republic, and many of them gave all to do so. Then came the man who led this fledgling idea of America into reality, George Washington, our first president and key figure in the American Revolution. Washington wasn't only a military leader, he was a unifying force. Imagine the pressure of leading a nation that had never existed before, of stepping into an uncharted role with no precedents. Yet Washington's humility and foresight set the tone for what leadership could and should be. While many urged him to take the new title of king, his decision to step down after 2 terms as president was a revolutionary act in itself, ensuring that power would never rest in the hands of just one individual alone. As America grew, so did its challenges. The War of 1812 tested the young nation's resilience, and out of that conflict came a song that would become synonymous with the American pride, the Star-Spangled Banner. Written by Francis Scott Key, the anthem captures the indomitable spirit of the people who refused to surrender, even as the bombs burst throughout the night in the air above Fort McHenry. It's a reminder that in our darkest hours, hope endures. Fast forward to the mid-19th century, and we find ourselves in the midst of a civil war, a time when the very fabric of the nation was at stake. At the helm was Abraham Lincoln, a man whose leadership during this turbulent era has made him one of the most revered presidents in history. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation was a bold step towards ending slavery, but it was his Gettysburg Address that truly captured the essence of the American promise. In just 272 words, Lincoln reminded us that this nation was conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all are created equal, and that this nation, of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Inspiring words even to today. During this time, another voice rose in prominence. Frederick Douglass, a man born into slavery, who became a powerful advocate for abolition and equality. Douglass's eloquence and intellect challenged the nation to confront its own hypocrisy and live up to the ideals enshrined in its founding documents. He once said, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress." His words still resonate today as a call to action for justice and equality. And then there is Mrs. Julia Ward Howe, a poet, abolitionist, and a suffragist, who gave the Union cause its most enduring anthem, the Battle Hymn of the Republic. In the midst of the Civil War, Howe's words captured the moral struggle of the time, framing the fight against slavery as a divine mission. Her stirring lyrics, "Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord," became a rallying cry for the Union and a testament to the enduring belief that justice and righteousness would prevail. Beyond her famous hymn, Howe was a tireless advocate for women's rights and a social reformer, using her voice to inspire change and challenge the status quo. Her life reminds us that the power of words, when paired with conviction, can ignite movements and transform nations. As the years rolled on, America faced new challenges and opportunities. The Great Depression brought the nation to its knees, but it also gave rise to one of the most transformative leaders in American history, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Through his New Deal programs, FDR restored hope to millions of Americans. And when World War II erupted, it was Roosevelt's steady leadership that guided the nation through the storm, cementing America's role as a global leader. Upon the death of FDR during his final term in office, an unprecedented fourth term, the role of president went to Harry Truman, who learned for the first time of the development of the Manhattan Project and the atomic bomb. He was a new VP, only in office for 3 months. He had to make a soul-wrenching decision, and he prayed deeply for guidance. In the end, the deadly weapon proved to end the war and potentially save millions of lives on both sides. Today, nuclear power helps to illuminate and empower homes all across America. On the front lines of that war was Audie Murphy, a young man who became the most decorated soldier in American history. Imagine lying about your age at just 15 years of age to serve your country, and then going on to perform acts of bravery that would inspire generations. Murphy's story is a testament to the courage and sacrifice of those who serve. And then there's Sergeant John Basilone, United States Marine Corps, an Italian-American, one of millions who volunteered to serve their country. He was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor for valor on Guadalcanal and sent home, only to volunteer to return to active duty, where he was killed on Iwo Jima. And just this past week, we mourned the passing of John Kissel Jr., the last of the Navajo Code Talkers, who served in World War II, a true American hero, an indigenous member of our society, and a true hero. And then there's Clara Barton, whose compassion and determination led to the founding of the Red Cross. Barton's tireless efforts to provide aid during times of crisis remind us of the power of humanity and the importance of helping out and assisting one another. The fight for equality didn't end with the Civil War. In the 20th century, Martin Luther King Jr. emerged as a beacon of hope and change. His "I Have a Dream" speech during the Million Man March in Washington is one of the most powerful orations in American history, a call for justice and equality that still echoes in the hearts of millions. King's nonviolent approach to civil rights changed the course of history, proving that love and understanding are much stronger than hate and division. And we are battling those very issues even till today. But we are winning. I'm convinced of that. We must also acknowledge the great contributions of Dwight D. Eisenhower, a leader who not only served as the 34th President of the United States, but also played a pivotal role in shaping the modern world. As the Supreme Commander General during World War II, Eisenhower led the Allied forces to victory in Europe. embodying the resilience and strategic brilliance that exemplifies American leadership. His presidency further cemented his legacy as he championed infrastructure development through the interstate highway system and worked tirelessly to maintain peace during the early years of the Cold War. It was President Eisenhower who put an end to segregated education in America. He sent the troops into Little Arkansas to defend the rights of everyone to get a free education. John F. Kennedy, the youngest president in American history, JFK's vision for America extended beyond the stars, literally. His commitment to the space race wasn't just about beating the Soviet Union. It was about inspiring a nation to dream bigger, to reach for the impossible. And during the Cuban Missile Crisis, his calm and calculated leadership averted what could have been a global catastrophe and potentially the end of mankind as we know it on Earth. Fast forward a few decades, and another pivotal moment in American history unfolded. Ronald Reagan, standing before the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, delivered a speech that would echo through the annals of history. With the Cold War at its peak and the Iron Curtain dividing East and West, Reagan's words carried the weight of freedom and hope. "Mr. Gorbachev," he said, "tear down that wall." He declared it loudly and boldly. It was a direct challenge to the Soviet Union. This wasn't just a speech. It was a rallying cry for liberty, a moment that inspired millions around the world. Reagan's unwavering belief in the power of democracy and human freedom helped pave the way for the end of the Cold War and the eventual fall of the Berlin Wall in November of 1989, and subsequently the collapse of the USSR soon afterwards. His leadership during this critical time reminded the world that walls, both physical and ideological, are meant to come down, and that freedom will always find a way to prevail. I happen to know Ronald Reagan, and I served for a period of time on his advisory panel. And I can tell you, with every memory in my fiber, that man was a deeply faithful man. He believed that he had a mission and that God had directed him to change this world, to fight against communism, and to bring freedom to the known world. And he prevailed. He prayed daily, and he prevailed. And those memories are very, very dear to me. But we also have to think about our current president, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a man who came out of a New York environment. He was a builder, a businessman, a billionaire, and had no need to run for public office. Many will say he had the need because of his ego. Well, maybe he is an egotistic man. There's no doubt about that. But he is a tremendous accomplisher. He has done tremendous good for this nation. He fought through the first term. He was locked out of his second term, ran again, and then with an unprecedented reversal of history, he came back as the 45th and the 47th president of the United States. And he's made remarkable changes in the world. He's brought 7 peace agencies across the world already. Peaceful resolutions to wars that have been going on for decades, and he's brought peace. And he's bringing to this nation back again the greatest economy in the American history, in the world history. And when America does well, the whole world does well. He's corrected the problems at our borders and is now fighting with all of those tens of millions of illegals that have been brought into this country for political purposes, I'm sure. But he has recognized the need to clean up the streets, to get rid of crime, and he's taking the action that's necessary. Whether you like him or you hate him, you have to give him credit for the accomplishments that he has done, and with many more to come. And he certainly is a contributor to the American history. But America's story isn't only about politics. It's also about culture, innovation, and the people who have brought joy and inspiration to our lives. So let's think a little bit beyond politics. Let's take, for example, Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, whose groundbreaking music and electrifying performances revolutionized not just rock and roll, but the entire landscape of popular culture. Elvis blended the sounds of gospel, blues, country, and rhythm and blues, creating a genre that broke down racial barriers and brought people together in a way that was unprecedented until his time. His influence extended far beyond music. He became a cultural phenomenon, shaping fashion, style, and even attitudes towards young and rebel him. Elvis gave voice to a generation embodying the spirit of freedom and self-expression that defined post-war America. His legacies as a performer, innovator, and cultural icon, is unmatched, and his impact continues to resonate in music and culture till today. He still tops the charts, and his records and music make millions of dollars annually. Then there's Marilyn Monroe and Elizabeth Taylor, two actresses whose influence transcended the silver screen and made an enduring symbol of American cinema. Their charisma and beauty and vulnerability captivated audiences. Far beyond entertainment, they were involved in the American culture scene, often the subject of gossip. But that's part of America as well. And of course, Frank Sinatra, whose smooth, velvety voice defined the generation. His timeless songs, such as My Way and Fly Me to the Moon, remain anthems of the American spirit. But Sinatra's contributions went beyond music. His talent and charisma earned him an honorary Academy Award for his role in The House I Live In, 1945, a beautiful little short film where Sinatra plays himself, teaching a group of bullying boys about religious tolerance and patriotism. In this film, Sinatra famously defines America as a house I live in, a plot of earth, a street, the grocer and the butcher, and the people that I meet, emphasizing that all races and religions make up America and deserve respect. The song and the film carried a powerful message against anti Semitism and remains a testament to Sinatra's belief in unity and equality. Together, Elvis, Marilyn, Taylor, and Sinatra remind us that America's story is not just written in political achievements, but also in the cultural moments and figures that have shaped our collective identity. Their legacies continue to inspire, reminding us of the power of art, music, and film, and bringing people together and defining our nation. Long before Sinatra, there were greats like Irving Berlin and Bing Crosby, who left an indelible mark on American music and in culture. Irving Berlin, one of the greatest songwriters in history, penned timeless classics like God Bless America and White Christmas, which became anthems of hope, unity, and celebration. As a whole, his music captured the spirit of America, blending diverse influences into melodies that resonated across generations. Bing Crosby, with his warm baritone voice, brought Berlin's White Christmas to life, creating the best-selling single of all times. It still outsold everything else at this time of year. Something many of you may not know, White Christmas was actually written about Berlin's personal tragedy. His 3-week-old son died on Christmas Day in 1928, making the holiday a source of profound sadness for him and his wife. And the song's wistful, melancholy tones reflects the loss and longing for a snowy, idealized Christmas he couldn't fully embrace. The song captures a nostalgic feeling, but for Berlin, the nostalgia was met with grief, a secret sadness behind the joyful melody. Bing Crosby's charm and vocal talent made him one of the most beloved entertainers of the 20th century, bridging the worlds of music and film. Together, Berlin and Crosby defined an era, their artistry providing comfort and joy during some of America's most challenging times. We must also recognize Bing's old partner, Bob Hope. While being born in England, became an American citizen, and for 30 years hosted the special USO shows in every war front on Earth, bringing memories of home to millions of U.S. military and naval personnel. And how can we not include the soulful sounds of Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington in this conversation? These cultural icons have profoundly shaped America's collective identity through their creativity and innovation. Louis Armstrong, often referred to as Satchmo, was a trailblazer in jazz music, and a genre born in the heart of America. His groundbreaking trumpet performances and charismatic stage presence transformed jazz into a global phenomenon. Armstrong's music broke racial barriers during a time of segregation, bringing people of all backgrounds together through the universal language of music. Songs like What a Wonderful World and Hello Dolly showcased his ability to evoke deep emotion, while his improvisational genius set the standard for generations of musicians to follow. Duke Ellington, another titan of jazz, elevated the genre to new heights with his sophisticated compositions and orchestrational arrangements. Leading his orchestra for over 50 years, Ellington wrote timeless pieces of music like Take the A Train and Mood Indigo, blending jazz with classical elements to create a uniquely American sound. His music not only entertained, but also celebrated African American culture and identity, making him a key figure in the Harlem Renaissance. Ellington's influence extended far beyond music as he became a symbol of artistic excellence and cultural pride during a time of racial inequality. I can remember very clearly attending a musical program at the Uris Theater in Manhattan in the late 1960s. I think it may have been the early 1970s. It was at the Uris Theater and it was labeled The Concert. And it showcased Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, and Duke Ellington for one of the most magical evening of music I have ever attended in my life. The performance was fantastic. I only wish everyone could have attended it and recognized it. Fast forward 100 years, and modern pop culture has been shaped by icons like Michael Jackson and Taylor Swift, who have redefined boundaries of music and entertainment. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, revolutionized the music industry with his extraordinary talent, innovation, and global appeal. With record-breaking albums like The Thriller, still the best-selling album of all time. Jackson's legacy is one of innovation, creativity, and unparalleled ability to connect with audiences across the world. Taylor Swift, a modern-day cultural trailblazer, has become one of the most influential artists of her generation. Known for her ability to tell deeply personal and relatable stories through her music, Swift has redefined the art of songwriting in the pop and country genre, a role model for fans worldwide. Together, these diverse figures, Armstrong, Ellington, Presley, Jackson, and Swift, to mention just a few, represent the evolving tapestry of American culture. Their creativity, innovation, and ability to connect with audiences have left an indelible mark on the nation's identity, proving that music and art are as integral to the American story as its politics and history. In the world of film, Steven Spielberg revolutionized modern cinema with his ability to tell stories that resonate universally. From Indiana Jones to Schindler's List, Spielberg's films have captured the imagination of audiences worldwide. Known for blending emotional depth with technical innovation, Spielberg pioneered the blockbuster era while also tackling profound themes like the Holocaust, as seen in Schindler's List, and the human spirit for survival, as in Saving Private Ryan. His work reflects the American ethos of resilience and hope, and the pursuit of dreams, making him one of the most influential filmmakers in history. But take a moment to consider this. When we think about some of Steven Spielberg's most iconic films, Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind, we don't just remember the visuals or the groundbreaking storytelling. We hear them. The tension of the deep, ominous notes of Jaws, the soaring wonder of E.T. theme, the awe-inspiring majesty of music in Jurassic Park. These films are brought to life in a way that transcend the screen, thanks to the genius of one of the greatest composers of all time, John Williams. His scores are not just background music. They are integral to the emotional and narrative fabric of the films. They evoke fear, wonder, and hope. In fact, Williams' music becomes a character in its own right, just as memorable, just as impactful as the 25-foot great white shark that terrorized Amity Island. It's hard not to think that without his music, these films would lose a vital piece of their soul. Reflecting on influential directors, Martin Scorsese brought a raw, visceral authenticity to cinema. With his exploration of complex characters and moral ambiguity, films like Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and Goodfellas delve into the darker corners of the American psyche, examining themes in ambition, corruption, and redemption. Scorsese's storytelling is deeply rooted in his own immigrant experience, reflecting the struggles and triumphs of the working-class America. His commitment to preserving film history and mentoring young filmmakers further cements his legacy as a cultural icon. Equally monumental is the work of Francis Ford Coppola, a filmmaker whose vision and ambition redefined the possibilities of storytelling in cinema. With films like the Godfather trilogy and Apocalypse Now, Coppola explored the complexities of power, family, morality, and the human condition. His ability to weave intricate narratives, create morally ambiguous characters, and craft unforgettable visuals has left an indelible mark on the history of film. The Godfather is not just a movie, it's a cultural phenomenon, a masterclass in storytelling that examines the intersection of loyalty, ambition, and the dark allure of power. Meanwhile, Apocalypse Now remains a haunting exploration of the psychological toll of war and the thin line between civilization and savagery. Coppola's work embodied the boldness and innovation of the new Hollywood era, and his influence continues to inspire generations of filmmakers to push the boundaries of their medium even further. Together, these figures represent the transformative power of creativity. Armstrong, Ellington gave America the soundtrack that celebrated the diversity of resilience. At the same time, Spielberg, Scorsese, and Coppola used film to explore the complexities of the human experience. Their contributions remind us that art and culture are not just forms of entertainment, they are reflections of who we are as a people and a nation, capturing our struggle, triumphs, and dreams for future generations to see. And as we reflect on the icons behind the camera, it's only fitting to reflect on two towering figures who shaped the culture and cinematic landscape in their own unique ways: Will Rogers and Frank Capra. Will Rogers, with his sharp wit, homespun wisdom, and unmatched charisma, became a voice of the common man during the early 20th century. Through his films, stage performances, and radio broadcasts, he offered humor and insight, often addressing the sociological issues with a gentle and poignant touch. Rogers' ability to connect with audiences on a deeply personal level made him not just a beloved entertainer, but also a symbol of American resilience and optimism during a challenging times. Equally influential, Frank Capra brought an unparalleled sense of hope and humanity to cinema. His films, such as A Wonderful Life and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, celebrated the triumph of the human spirit and the enduring power of integrity and kindness. Capra's storytelling captured the essence of the American dream, showing that even in the face of adversity, goodness and determination could prevail. His work continued to resonate, reminding us of the timeless values that unite us all. His work continues to resonate, reminding us of the timeless values that unite us all. Both films starred Capra's friend, actor, and war hero, Jimmy Stewart, who served in the United States Air Force for 30 years and retired as a brigadier general. Now that we've covered legends behind the camera, how can we not include one of the most recognizable figures on the screen? The Duke, John Wayne, a towering presence in American cinema. He became the embodiment of the rugged independent spirit of American West. With his iconic roles, John Wayne represented strength, resilience, and a sense of justice that resonated deeply with the audiences. His larger-than-life persona made him a symbol of American values, particularly during times of national uncertainty. Beyond his films, Wayne's legacy as a cultural icon continues to influence how we perceive heroism and the enduring allure of the frontier. A couple of music pioneers that deserve mention as well are Robert Johnson and Hank Williams. They were pivotal in shaping the foundation of American music, cornerstones in modern music. Let us also recall such amazing American feats such as the building of the Panama Canal, the St. Lawrence Seaway, Hoover Dam, the Transcontinental Railway System, and the Empire State Building. Not to mention the Apollo space mission. All of these feats were considered unbelievably impossible to achieve, and yet we completed each one of them. Innovation has also been at the heart of America's progress, driving the nation forward and transforming the world. Few individuals embody the spirit of ingenuity more than Thomas Edison, whose prolific inventions forever changed the way we live. Edison's development of the practical incandescent light bulb illuminated homes and cities, extending the productive hours of the day and revolutionizing daily life. Beyond the light bulb, his creation of the phonograph and the motion picture camera laid the foundation for the modern entertainment industry. Edison's Menlo Park laboratory became a symbol of innovation and showcasing his relentless pursuit of progress. Similarly, Henry Ford revolutionized transportation and manufacturing with an introduction of the assembly line. By streamlining production, Ford made automobiles affordable and accessible to the average American, transforming the way people traveled and connected with one another. His Model T became the symbol of freedom and mobility, reshaping cities, industries, and society as a whole. Ford's innovative approach to mass production also influenced countless industries, setting the standard for efficiency and productivity in the 20th century. Equally transformative were the contributions of the industrial titans like John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, and Cornelius Vanderbilt, whose visions and ambitions laid the foundation for modern America's economic might. In more recent times, a new generation of visionaries has carried the torch of innovation, transforming the way we live, work, and connect. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, redefined technology with products like the iPhone, iPad, and the Mac. His emphasis on user-friendly design and seamless integration of hardware and software revolutionized personal computing and communication. The iPhone, in particular, has become a cornerstone of modern life, putting the power of a computer, camera, and global communication device into your very own pocket. Jobs' vision of blending art and technology continues to inspire industries and technologies today. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos transformed commerce with the creation of Amazon, turning a small online bookstore into the world's largest e-commerce platform. Bezos revolutionized how we shop, introducing innovations like one-click purchasing, same-day delivery, and cloud computing through Amazon's web services. His relentless focus on consumer experience and operational efficiency has reshaped global supply chains and set the standard for modern retail. Tim Berners-Lee, the inventor of the World Wide Web, fundamentally changed the way we access and share information. His creation of this decentralized system for connecting documents and resources online democratized knowledge, enabling billions of people around the world to communicate, learn, and collaborate. His vision of an open and accessible internet laid the groundwork for a digital age, transforming industries from education to entertainment. And now that we have an internet, innovators like Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates lead the way for commercial use as well as social media. Elon Musk has pushed the boundaries of innovation in multiple fields. From electric vehicles to space exploration through Tesla, Musk has accelerated the transition of sustainable energy, making electric cars mainstream and advancing battery technology. With SpaceX, he has revolutionized space travel, developing reusable rockets and setting ambitious goals for interplanetary exploration, including plans to colonize Mars. Musk's ventures include Neuralink and the Boring Company, reflect the commitment to his tackling humanity's greatest challenges with bold, futuristic solutions. Together, these innovators exemplify American spirit of curiosity, determination, and relentless drive to improve the world. Their contributions remind us that progress is not about individual achievement, but about creating tools and systems and ideas that elevate society as a whole. From the light bulb to the internet, from the Model T to Mars-bound rockets, these pioneers have shown that the possibilities for human advancement are boundless when powered by imagination and perseverance. But it isn't only these wonderful people that we speak about. We have to recognize that millions of individuals, just like you and I, have made a contribution that created and changed America and the world at large. Entrepreneurs, small businessmen, people who have greatly equalized by using franchises. You know, the franchise system, which was basically invented in the United States, is we seem to think it's a new thing when we think in terms of McDonald's and all the prominent names that we know of today, but it goes back quite a far way. As a matter of fact, Benjamin Franklin created the first franchise. He was a co-partner in publishing with a man by the name of Thomas Whitcock, and that was established in 1731. And then the first commercial franchise was in 1850, and that was the Singer Sewing Machine Company. And then in 1891, Martha Maltude created a hair salon and franchised it all across the country. Who would have thought such a thing? 1924, R&W Root Beer franchised their drive-in system, and then White Castle, and then, of course, McDonald's, which became the biggest restaurant in the world. And we have multiples of such things, not only in restaurants and things of that kind, but Holiday Inn created the first franchise for motels that created a network of systems that became the hotel and motel system across the world. And so it goes, and so it goes. So basically, what franchises did, it created millions of new jobs and added billions of dollars to the gross national product because they were all created by individual people like you and me who had the initiative, took a risk, and created businesses. And that's part of the American way. So we must not forget that. And what would America be without its sports heroes? These athletes that not only entertained us, but have also inspired generations with their dedication, excellence, and ability to overcome obstacles. Babe Ruth, known as the Sultan of SWAT and the Great Bambino, became a symbol of American baseball and larger than life figure in the 1920s. His incredible home run record and charismatic personality helped popularize baseball as America's pastime. And notably, Joe DiMaggio and Stan Musial, two of the greatest ball players in history. Can't forget those guys either. In the world of tennis, Serena and Venus Williams have redefined the sport with dominance, skill, and resilience. Off the court, they have used their platform to advocate for equality and social justice, further cementing their legacy as icons and empowerment. The first black heavyweight boxing champion was Jack Johnson, and that was before 1900. Followed by the great Joe Louis and then Muhammad Ali, often referred to as the greatest, transcending boxing to become a global symbol of courage and conviction. Known for his quick feet, powerful punches, and sharp wit, Ali dominated the ring, winning 3 heavyweight championships. Yet his impact extended beyond sports. His refusal to fight in the Vietnam War and his advocacy for civil rights made him a powerful figure in the fight for social justice. Ali's unwavering belief in himself and his principles inspired countless people to stand up for what they believe in, making him one of the most influential athletes in history. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, revolutionized the sport with his unmatched skill, competitive spirit, and sheer will to win, inspiring athletes across all sports to strive for greatness. Jesse Owens, a track and field legend, etched his name in history in the 1936 Berlin Olympics, where he won 4 gold medals and defied Adolf Hitler's propaganda of Aryan superiority. Owens' performance was one of a triumph of the human spirit over prejudice, showcasing the power of sports to challenge sociological norms and unite people. His achievements not only inspired athletes, but also served as a powerful statement against racism and discrimination. Wayne Gretzky, known as the Great One, widely regarded as the greatest hockey player of all time. His unparalleled skill and vision and hockey IQ revolutionized the sport. Jim Thorpe, one of the most versatile athletes in history, excelled in multiple sports, including football, baseball, track and field. At the 1912 Olympics, he won gold medals in both pentathlon and decathlon, showcasing his incredible athleticism. Thorpe's achievements broke barriers for Native Americans and solidifies his legacy as one of the greatest athletes of all time. Knute Rockne, a legendary college football coach, transformed the sport with his innovative strategies and leadership. As the coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Rockne popularized the forward pass and built a football-led dynasty, leading his teams to multiple national championships. His impact on the game of football and his ability to inspire teams is a work of excellence. Shohei Ohtani, a modern-day phenomenon, has redefined baseball with his unprecedented ability to excel as both a pitcher and a hitter. Highly unlikely. Ohtani's historic achievements, including leading the league in home runs while dominating on the mound. They have drawn comparisons to Babe Ruth, captivating fans worldwide. His success has brought a new level of excitement to baseball and inspired a new generation of players to the game. These sports heroes represent more than just athletic powers. They embody the value of hard work, determination, and an unyielding belief in oneself. Through their achievements, they have united communities, broken barriers, and inspired millions to dream big. Whether it's Babe Ruth's called shot, Serena and Venus's dominance, Ali's courage, Jordan's excellence, Owens' defiance, Gretzky's brilliance, Thorpe's versatility, Rockne's innovation, and Brady's leadership, Ohtani's dual talents, or Judge's power, these legends remind us that greatness is achieved not only through talent, but through perseverance and the ability to rise above challenges. never quit. There's a statement that gives credit, and I use it all the time on these shows. I repeat it often because it's so true to me. Winston Churchill, during the deaths of the Blitzkrieg, when the English people were suffering daily by the German Blitzkrieg bombing them night after night to London, terrible bombing night after night, buildings on fire everywhere. Churchill went on the radio and he informed the people that we will certainly persevere. We will win if we follow these 5 words. If we follow these 5 words, we will never fail. And the words are never, 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 never quit. And of course, they didn't. And they did persevere. And they did win. And we ended up winning World War II in spite of the German Blitzkrieg. Finally, we must honor the writers and thinkers and leaders who have captured the essence of the American experience by shaping how we understand ourselves and our nation. And we have to begin that, of course, with Mark Twain, often called the father of American literature. He gave voice to complexities of life in the 19th century through his timeless tales. Works like The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn not only entertained readers, but also explored themes of freedom, morality, and social justice. Twain's sharp wit and keen observations of human nature continue to resonate, reminding us of the enduring struggles and triumphs that define the American spirit. Maya Angelou, one of the most celebrated poets and authors of the 20th century, used her words to speak the soul of a nation. Through works like I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Angelou shared her personal journey of overcoming adversity while addressing issues of race, identity, and resilience. Her poetry, such as Still I Rise and On the Pulse of the Morning, offered hope and inspiration, particularly during times of social and political upheaval. Angelou's voice became a beacon of strength and of empowerment, encouraging Americans to confront their history and strive for a more just and inclusive future. F. Scott Fitzgerald, through his literary masterpiece such as The Great Gatsby, captured the essence of the Jazz Age in the complexities of the American dream. His works delved into themes of ambition, love, and disillusion, painting a vivid portrait of the nation grappling with prosperity and its consequences. Fitzgerald's prose continued to inspire readers, offering timeless reflection on the pursuit of happiness and the human condition. Ernest Hemingway, another literary giant, defined an era with his distinctive style and profound storytelling. His works, such as The Old Man and the Sea and The Farewell to Arms, explore the themes of courage, resilience, and the human spirit in the face of adversity. Hemingway's spare, unadorned prose revolutionized literature and left an incredible mark on American letters, influencing generations of writers and readers alike, myself included. These individuals, writers, poets, and leaders, have shaped the fabric of our national identity. Their contributions remind us of the importance of resilience, creativity, and a steadfast commitment to progress. As we celebrate 250 years of America, let us honor their legacies and continue to draw inspiration from their words and deeds as we strive to build a brighter future for all of us. In today's world, modern leaders and thinkers like Charlie Kirk have challenged us to think critically about the future of our country. As a prominent commentator and advocate for conservative values, Kirk engaged in passionate debates about the direction of America, addressing vital issues such as free speech, individual liberty, and the role of government. His work emphasized the importance of civic engagement and intellectual discourse, encouraging young Americans to take an active role in shaping the nation's future. Tragically, Charlie Kirk's life was cut short, a sacrifice made at the cost of standing firm for the principles he held dear. Most notably, his opposition to abortion, gun control, and highlighting how DEI quotas create systems where qualifications are second-guessed based on race, fostering divisions that wouldn't exist in a merit-based system. His death serves as a sobering reminder of the fragility of the freedoms we often take for granted and the courage it takes to defend them. Kirk's unwavering commitment to his beliefs, even in face of adversity, has left an indelible mark on the hearts of those who admired him, especially the young people in America. In his memory, we are reminded that the fight for liberty and the pursuit of truth come with great responsibilities and sometimes great personal cost. As it has from the beginning of our republic, so many of our founding fathers and later heroes paid the ultimate price for our freedom. Charlie's legacy lives on in the countless lives he inspired to think deeply, act boldly, and never waver in the defense of democratic ideals. His life and work challenges us to honor his sacrifice by continuing the fight for a future where freedom of thought and expression remain cornerstones of the American experience. Ultimately, these writers and thinkers remind us of the transformative power of ideas and the written word. Whether through Twain's exploration of American life, Angelou's poetic call for justice and equality, or modern voices like Kirk's engagement with contemporary challenges, they inspire us to reflect on who we are and who we aspire to be. Their contributions underscore the importance of storytelling and critical thinking in persevering the ideals of freedom, democracy, and the pursuit of a better tomorrow. Well, we're coming to the close of our program here. We've listed and listened over and over again about people who've taken a chance and made a difference in this world. People like you and me who have put a hand out to others, who strove to make a better world and better future. A commonality through all of us are that we love this country and we share in the freedoms that it offers to us. So essential to our tomorrows and for the future generations to come. As we celebrate America's 250th year legacy, let us remember that this nation was built on the dreams, sacrifices, and achievements of countless individuals. Their stories remind us of what is possible when we come together with a shared vision and a common purpose. They were all just people, like you and me. They raised up higher when the need was evident and willingly served the needs of the community. Will we have the courage to do the same? Will we take the time? Will we give the effort? Will we make our action?
We are the Patriots of American Heritage Girls Truth 0001.
Why should we, as U.S. citizens, know our Constitution?
The Founding Fathers gave us the United States Constitution as the foundation for America. The very least we can do is make sure that we know it.
It is important for American citizens to know their First Amendment rights, the rights that are the foundation of the life we live in America.
American citizens should know the U.S. Constitution because it helps them realize they have rights that no one is allowed to take away. These rights ensure them of their freedom, speech, and their safety.
Because it will strengthen our knowledge on where there are laws for not just us, but the government itself. And so the government does not overstep its own given laws.
Every American citizen should memorize the U.S. Constitution because the Constitution was founded upon biblical principles and because the Constitution reminds us that God was the one who gave us order.
We, the people, are truly a valuable piece to the puzzle of how the United States of America developed, painting a picture of a nation free from chains, through individual voices advocating for liberty, for justice. Voices that mattered, but that was centuries ago. Such truths proclaimed in our Constitution seem to be decaying in this modern country. As a people, understanding our Constitution is the first step in an actionable journey where me and you and each U.S. citizen can reignite the fire of freedom we were supposed to maintain.
Thank you for joining me today on this journey through America's incredible history. I'm Buccellato, and this has been a recap of many American icons, national treasures, cultural heroes, American pioneers, foundational figures, historical greats, trailblazers, and American luminaries. I hope this monologue today has inspired you to be a trailblazer yourself and think of how you can make a difference in the future of our beautiful nation. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep striving, and keep celebrating the legacy of this incredible country. God bless you all, and may God continue to bless America. Goodbye, all.